What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the On the PRST Podcast. On this podcast, we like to connect with movers and shakers, entrepreneurs, anyone that's out there looking to make their waves in the industry. And my next guest, who I'm excited to have on today's episode, he's definitely someone that's doing the same and making tremendous waves. My next guest, Uyi Abraham, tech founder, prophet, speaker, philanthropist, founder of Vonza, making a tremendous impact in the industry. So without further ado, I want to introduce you, sir. Love to hear more about what you got going on. So first of all, let the people know a little bit more about you.
Hey, thank you so much, Braden, right? Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's a great honor to be here. I'm Uyi Abraham. I was born and raised in Nigeria, so I came to America a few years ago with just $100 to my name and a suitcase of clothes. I had come to America initially to go to school to become a medical doctor, but along the way, I found that entrepreneurship was really what I wanted to do with my life. So I became an entrepreneur, and so I went from $100 to building a 8 figures. Oh, that's prophetic now. Okay, 10 figures.
You about to go to the
gym. So as of this time, an 8-figure, net worth, and so I'm really excited to be here. So 2 years ago, I started working on the idea for Vonza. And Vonza is an all-in-one platform that makes it easy for people to start and grow their business online in one place. So with Vonza, you can create and sell online courses, memberships, physical, digital products, e-commerce, forms, scheduling, pretty much 12 plus tools in one single and simple place, So that's a little introduction for me. So I'm here, and let's have some good time.
So what? I definitely want to dig in more about Vonza, because it sounds like Vonza is bringing a lot of Vonza to me sounds like a bigger situation to what like Kajabi is, right? Because with Kajabi, you can do a lot of different things on Kajabi. So if you want your emails to go out, if you want to build courses, if you want to sell products, you can do all that. So Kajabi actually allows you to take 4 or 5 different sites that you would most likely want to utilize, but now you can do them all like Kajabi. Vonza sounds like you could do that on a higher level, because it sounds like you're able to do more than just that as well. So before we kind of dig into that, you said that you originally came here with about $100 in a suitcase. What was your first taste of entrepreneurship? Like, what was your first actual, I'm going to start this business, or I'm going to trade this service or product? What was that looking like for you at the time?
Yeah, it's really great question. So the very first break for entrepreneurship was web design. So I came with $100. So of course, you gotta work, right? So my first job, I was working at Lowe's Theater in Houston, Texas. I was making about $6 and some change an hour. And after a while, I found it was really hard to pay the bills. I was behind on my rent. My car was breaking down. It was just so difficult, So my birthday came along, and a friend of mine was like, hey, I don't have money to give you for your birthday as a gift, but hey, I know you kind of like, web design type stuff. So I'm going to give you a template for a website, and then you can use it to build a website for your church or something. And then, that was it. He wasn't trying to help me start a business. He just gave me a template and gave me a little bit tutorials on how to build a website. So I built a website for our church, and then I was like, wow, okay, this is really good. And this was like in 2004. This was when there was no Web 2.0, there was no Airbnb, no Facebook, there was no MySpace, nothing. At that time, you have to use AOL, to kind of get powered on net zero. AOL where was
wow, net zero.
Like 2004, So we've been doing this online business thing since 2004. So I built the website, like, man, this is great. So I had a light bulb moment, right? At the time, I was probably making less than $2,000 a month at my job. So I'm like, okay, if I can build a website for anybody or a church organization for just $400 a pop, right? So that'll be 400 times 10. If I can build 10 a month, that'll be 4,000. So brilliant. So my very first goal for entrepreneurship was 40,000 a year. I was like, God, if I can make 40,000 a year, I will be wealthy. All my problems will be solved, you know? So my goal was 40,000 a year. My strategy was to build 10 websites at $400 a piece. So that was my very first step into entrepreneurship. Then from there, I found out that website was not enough at the time for me. People were also asking about graphics, business cards, photography, videography. So I started learning how to do all of these things, everything self-taught, right? And so that was my very first test in entrepreneurship. And let me say something to the users that are listening right now. Don't be afraid to start with your first idea, because your first idea will not always be your best idea. Let me say that again. Your first idea will not always be your best idea. So just start with what you have. Start with whatever problem or opportunity that you see before you right now, because everything you do is going to lead you to where your dream business or your dream goals will be. I do tech. I own a tech company now. I own a university. I own some other businesses, but I started by building websites for people.
So what I wanna kind of bring back to the fold is, so I understand birthday came around, your friend didn't have no money, but he gave you some resources, and then that resource allowed you to make money and then propelled you to a new direction.
Yeah.
So like, what was your mindset like? Because at some point, like you mentioned, you had that light bulb moment. You wanted to come here originally to obviously just work, and that at the time was like, you know, this is where it's gonna be. But eventually down that line, some switch. You saw the entrepreneurship opportunity.
Yeah.
Had that light bulb moment when you were doing this. Well, like, what was it that shifted your mindset to even consider, like, you know what, there's abundance out here, there's more for me, I could be doing more? Like, where did you get your mindset from?
Very good question. I think really marriage, because I mean, I was working, making $6 an hour. I was living with my dad all the time. So I was young. I didn't have that much responsibility. But now being married, barely making $8 an hour at a time. So I got to feed myself, feed my family, right? So it was that necessity. They say necessity is the mother of invention. It was that necessity that drove me to like, okay, I got to make more, right? And so that was when my mindset began to shift. But I didn't know where to start until this guy gave me the template for a website. But thank God I was able to see that, hey, if I can create this for myself, this was in 2004. There was not a lot of people that have websites at the time. So I'm going to try to learn it better so I can create more for other people. So that why, which was my wife, marriage, drove me to where my mindset expanded. Now, one of the secrets of successful people is, one, they have a why, and two, there's also a hunger. You know, something made them hungry. They were hungry for more, right? Nobody can be successful without being hungry. So that's why, with my hunger for more, was what shifted my mindset towards entrepreneurship.
So I think it's very interesting that that you give the compliments to you being married, and then also saying that either the necessity, like you said, necessity is the mother of invention, but the why being, yeah, you know what, I need to feed my family, I need more, you know, my wife deserves it, I deserve it, there's more out there than what I'm currently doing. What were some of the things that you leaned on, like was it books, programs, mentors back in the day? You know, what were some of the things that you did that you put into practice to grow your mindset to support your new direction in entrepreneurship?
Very, very good question, you know. So it was all of the above. One, I had my why, I had my passion, I was hungry, but then books, right? A lot of great books helped me. I think too, primarily, I'm not sure, I think Rich Dad Poor Dad was already out at that time. So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, made a big impression on me. Then I read a book called All You Can, the title is very long, but it's a real title of a book. You know, is All You Can Do is All You Can Do, but all you can do is enough. And it was written by A.L. Williams, who was the founder of Prudential, financials of this big, company today. So those books really helped me. Then my friend that gave me the template was a mentor for me. And then I just started learning. So I just kind of opening myself to self-help gurus and books and mentorship and coaching. So all of that began to help me to get to where I am today, to starting a tech company, Vonza.
What's up, y'all? It's Brendan Boyd, speaker, productivity coach, and host of the On the PRST Podcast. And I want to talk to you all about my brand new book, The 8 Secrets to Success Playbook. Now, this playbook is jam-packed with all sorts of value. So if you're a coach or a consultant or an expert and you're looking to 5x or even 10x your business, you definitely want to grab a copy of this playbook. I'm talking about conversions, lead generation, high ticket offer, continuity offer, the power of speaking, the power of making a book for yourself, promoting, advertising is all in this playbook. So you definitely want to make sure that you grab a copy. Click the link below, get a copy of your playbook, and I'll see you on the other side. So let's talk about Vonza a little bit. You said it's been, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but about a 2-year journey?
Yeah, 2 years in right now. Yeah.
So about a 2-year journey for you creating Vonza. Where did you initially get that, the idea to create it, and why did you feel like the market needed Vonza? Why does the market need Vonza?
Very good question. So let me start by answering why I felt the need to create it. So now I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm what I call a multi-passion entrepreneur. So that means I just don't have just one thing. I'm not just a one-trick pony. I have like 2-3 type of businesses I'm running at a time. But now, yes, there was a problem, Braden. I had my courses on Teachable. I had my books on Shopify. I had WordPress for my website. I had Calendly for my scheduling. And I was using Acuity to pay for both of them because there were some things Acuity could do, Calendly did not really do very well, right? So I had MailChimp for email. I had GetResponse for my automations. So I was paying for over 10 platforms just to do one thing. Most small businesses don't want to use multiple platforms. They just want one good platform that can help them do all or most of their business activities. So that was the problem I had. So one day I had this light bulb moment again. I'm like, okay, this does not make sense. Why do I have to pay for and use 10 plus tools and then get a developer to write some coding, then use Zapier to try to tie them all together, and things break, plugins break, and just frustrating and overwhelming. It was painful. It was that pain again. See, I have to tell people right now, before I continue my story, pay attention to your pain, because your pain might be the key to your profit, and your pain might be the key to your purpose as well. My pain led to my purpose and my profit, So my pain was being overwhelmed, frustrated by using so many different tools and trying to tie them all together. So that's why I was like, okay, there got to be a really good all-in-one platform that can help me run my entire business in one simple place without needing tech or developers or coding or anything like that, right? Then I was researching, I heard about Kajabi. I tried it. They got a little bit better now, but initially was so difficult to use. It was confusing. It was very technical, and I hated it. So I said, okay, I want to build a better platform than what's out there. One, it got to be simple to use because I don't like tech. 2, it got to be faster. And 3, it got to offer more for the bank. So Kajabi offers maybe just 9 features, but Vonza offers 14 more features. We offer more features than Kajabi because my mindset is I want to help small businesses and solopreneurs win. I want to give them more tools for the bank. I want to give them pretty much everything they need, consolidated in a simple and powerful way so that they can get what they need to do and serve their client better. So that was the why of why Vonza was started. It was my personal pain. And as I began to talk to a lot of other entrepreneurs, I found that everybody had the same problem, but they just didn't know of a better solution. So it's like using taxi. Everybody was complaining taxi drivers were rude, they were dirty, their cars were dirty, they were late. But there was no better solution. So we all just use it and complain. So, but when Uber came around, so we see Vonza as the Uber of online business, the Uber for entrepreneurship, right? Whereby, make it simple, easy, convenient, and faster for you to go from here to there with your business instead of trying to tie all these different tools together, waste money, time, and just have tech issues.
So for those that are watching, for those that are listening, if you may have missed what he said was, and if you're an entrepreneur that has a coaching program, a consulting program, if you're putting up any educational content out there, generally you need multiple resources to pull it all together. If you want to do some mapping on the back end, if you want to make sure that you're able to collect the data, even now, if you use Calendly's not storing the emails. So then you have to go back in and manually collect all the emails.
Yeah.
If you want, a resource to help you get all the emails, there's different things that you need to use.
Yeah.
So Vonza is allowing you to not only put up your courses, but then handle your email marketing. I assume some text message marketing as well.
Yeah.
You do some mapping. Yeah. Does it have funnel integration?
Does it have funnels? Yeah, exactly.
So it has all of that stuff.
Sales funnels.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, one-stop. That's it, bro. One-stop shop.
So that's incredible, because someone like me, and especially there's other people listening, I have Kajabi, I got ClickFunnels, I got Zapier, I got Calendly, I got Integromat. I have all these different things to make my thing work. So what's amazing is that I think what you said was earlier, and I took a note. You were saying, and you could correct me on this if I misquoted you, but you were saying, your pain might be the key to your project and your profit. Is that correct?
So the key to your purpose and your
the purpose and your profit.
Yes.
So how I'm listening to what you're describing is, when you were originally in the marketplace, you had the pain points.
Yes.
So you paid attention to your struggles.
Yeah.
You did market research. You saw what other similar peers may have been struggling with as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you creating Vonza not only helped you out because it helped to solve your pain point, but it was something that you noticed in the marketplace that could be a solution for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're just someone that's watching or listening, maybe you're still working your 9-to-5, whatever the case may be. If you're paying attention to where your pain points are, or what someone else's pain points are, if there's some similarities, or you see if there's multiple people going through similar things, that may be like you were saying, a light bulb moment of what you need to create. And I think that's awesome that you was able to realize that, pay attention to that, see that, and then materialize that, manifest that, and now it's available for people to take advantage of.
Yeah, that's really key. The problem is that most people do not pay attention to their pain, right? And they don't understand that sometimes pain is a disguise for profit, right? Every successful business today was started because somebody felt some pain. The Uber started because I think the guys, they went to a conference and it was raining. They didn't get taxi on time. Bam. They was like, why is there not a better way? That's how Uber was started. Amazon wanted a way to deliver books over the internet. Nothing was happening. That person had pain. Amazon, right? Walmart founder, no discount store. Why is everything so expensive? I'm going to create it, right? So if everybody listening today will just pay attention to your pain, right? Your pain is always that key to show you what's the next thing for you to do, right? And when you see that pain, sometimes it might look so overwhelming, but don't let it overwhelm you. Don't think of, okay, I'm going to solve it all right now. If I allowed the pain of starting a tech company is not an easy thing to do, right? One, I'm Black. There's a lot of Black people starting tech companies, right? Two, when you start a tech company, you're going to need a lot of money to get started. They don't usually give people like us money. So there's all these things that go on. But what I do is that I just try to understand what's my next step. What's my first step? Or the next step. That's it. What's the first step? Okay, put a team together. Okay, that's what I need to worry about right now. Okay, I put that team together. What's the next step? Okay, let's build a prototype. Okay, what's the next step, right? So no matter how big the pain you're trying to solve, or your purpose, or your business, right? Don't let it overwhelm you because there are so many different moving parts. Just think about what's the first or my next step. And once you can figure that out, you take that, you're going to find out when you get there, the next step will be even more clearer to you. And that's how you go from idea to building great things. And that's exactly what I've done with my life. Every business I've ever had was because of a personal pain or frustration I had.
So you turn that frustration into solutions, not only for yourself, but obviously for the marketplace. And you identify things that obviously you needed, but other people need it as well.
Yeah.
And kind of dialing back to your first breakdown when you were considering, like, if I can make 40,000, I got, this product. I'm gonna sell these websites from this template for $400. If I do 10 of these, that's 40,000.
4,000 a month. 44,000.
Yeah, for the year. That was the goal. So it's like still using the same simple math in this context with your new products and services allow you to get you to where you want to go. But I think it's incredible that you identified and make it clear for people saying, all right, you take it from one step to the next step to the next step. So it's not looking so overwhelming. You just do this one and then this is next. And okay, we got these done. What's next? Okay, I got to do this one. And I think for some people, that's kind of what keeps them procrastinating or keeps them stuck, because they're looking like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to get from here all the way over there.
Yeah.
Because I don't have A, B, or C, or maybe I'm just here.
Yeah.
So you make it, I think what's really great about one of the things that you do, just listening to you, your genius is you're able to simplify things.
Exactly.
I think you're able to really simplify things and explain it in a manner where it's like really, really clear and digestible. I think that's definitely something that you do great. So talk to me about the university a little bit.
So at the university, I think somewhere around 2009, my wife graduated from one of these fancy schools. But it cost us about $54,000 in debt. She did a master's degree from that school. And then she couldn't really find a good job. They were trying to pay out just about $15 to $18 an hour. And now we have $54,000 in debt. And then she didn't really want to work. She didn't like the workforce. She just want to do business and entrepreneurship and ministry. So I'm like, okay, what's the point, right? So now we stuck with $54,000 in debt. Like most people know with schools, you go to these schools 4 years, then you finish, then you don't remember 90% of what they teach you at school, because when the program is too long, there's not going to remember what you learned over 4 years, and then they teach you stuff that are not relevant. So that pain, I'm like, okay, we have this pain. I'm sure I'm not the only one, and my wife is not the only one frustrated with the traditional way of doing school in America. There got to be a better way for people to go to school, get a degree, don't do 4 years, do it in 2 years, right? And also to, instead of this $54,000 in debt, what about if we can work out a way whereby someone like my wife can easily afford $5,000 to $10,000 for the same program and pay out of pocket and not have that student loan debt like these other ones, right? So it was that same pain and frustration of my wife going through this traditional school, not remembering 90% what she was learned, what she was taught, and having this student loan debt that led me to say there got to be a better way for me to solve this problem. Not just for my wife now, but for other people. So that was the idea that led me to starting the university. So now I have that pain I want to solve, make higher education qualitative, shorter time span, and cheaper for people. So now I know what problem I want to solve. Now I have to figure out a way to do that. So I began to do my research. I traveled to different states, check out their Department of Education, and then I was able to figure out a way to legally set up a university and also to get the accreditation that I needed. So this university we started is a Christian-based school, and it was Christian-based for two reasons. One, because I'm a Christian, I wanted to, provide something that was Christian-based, and two, it was the easiest to set up. If I was going to do a liberal arts college, it's going to require so much I wasn't able to do at the time. So I found a way the least possible way to get into the game. So that's how we started the school. That was in 2010. So by 11 years in at the university, I've graduated over 7,000 students that are doing great all over the world.
So that's what I was going to ask you about the accreditation. So you were saying you were able to secure accreditation with your university. So your university isn't similar to how, some experts or gurus may just package a bunch of information, call it a university, and then maybe, and yes, there's probably some value there. You go through it, you get that value, you're able to do what you need to do. Your university not only gives the value, but you're actually getting accredited. So you come out of that with a diploma and it actually means something, if you want to go that route. And you're teaching people the things that they need to learn. So what are some of the subjects and some of the topics that are covered in your university?
So we have over, I think, 32 different degree programs and diplomas, but we have three main schools: School of Theology, for those trying to get into ministry, and School of Business, so those trying to start entrepreneurship and business, and School of Leadership. Those are the three divisions of the school. And so we have hundreds of courses and lessons in those degrees, right? But that's the focus of the school: theology, business, and leadership, trying to get people ready, because those are the most three important things: with theology, study of God, business, and leadership. If somebody can get really good at all three, they will always be successful at life.
That's amazing. So with traditional college, like you said, can be $40,000, $50,000 a year. What does your university cost in comparison?
So ours for the whole program is average of $5,000 to $12,000 for the whole program. One reason why it's cheaper too is because we don't have the overhead that many of these schools they have with these gigantic buildings. They got to pay mortgage. They got hundreds of instructors or professors they got to pay. So we utilize the lean method. And right now, all of our classes are online. We use our own Vonza software, because Vonza is not only for courses. We can also run a full-fledged university of Vonza. We use our own software to run it. So our cost of operation is lower, and so we just pretty much pass that savings to the students. So it's average of about $5,000 to $12,000 to finish the whole program, and our programs can be finished in about 1 to 2 years instead of traditional schools that are 3 to 4 years. Which is also about the money too, right?
Yeah.
Because to me, there's no reason why a bachelor program should be at least 2-3 years, period, maximum. Maybe a year of internship, right? So you can practice what you're learning. But what they do in traditional schools, they try to keep you for a bachelor program for 4 years, because every year you got to borrow money, or, you got to pay for dormitory, you got to pay. So it's a money game to me. That's my personal opinion, right? Because you keep people for 4 years, and you don't give them time to even practicalize what they are learning, they're going to forget. It's not going to be relevant most of the time, right? So people come out from school, they don't even know what to do most of the time.
I agree with you. I actually put up a post not too long ago, and it was basically talking about the same thing, where you go to school, you may spend 200-something thousand, or more once you're done with the 4 years, for a degree that most likely you're not going to use. And you're going to have that debt, and then you're going to get a job that you most likely didn't even get the degree for, and you're going to spend the rest of that time outside of college paying that off. And then you're not learning the practical things, like you're saying, at your university. They're not learning about the leadership, per se. They're not learning about the business principles. They're not learning about entrepreneurship. They're not learning about taxes, about credit. They're not learning about those things. So the fact that you're not only saving them time, but just saving them a tremendous amount of money. Yeah. And at the same time, they're graduating from an accredited university with practical skills that they can implement. It's actually going to make them grow. I think that's wonderful. And I think it goes back to what you were saying. You identified the pain, your wife was experiencing, and obviously millions of Americans are experiencing the same ones. They're like, we're just going to school just because it's like the next thing. People are not necessarily like, I'm going to college because this is what I need to do for this. They're just going like, I graduate from high school, I guess I'm going to college. Like that's generally what the feel is. But I agree with you. I think definitely it's a money play to set, a money play that's not favoring the student or the family. It's for the university or, the government or whatever the case may be.
If you're a coach, consultant, expert, or specialist, there's only 3 things that you need to take you from where you are right now to where you want to go. And those 3 things are this: a roadmap, consistency, and the right coaching. So if you're coachable, if you can follow a roadmap, if you're ready to be consistent, I invite you to jump on a call with me or someone from my team, and we can lay out the play to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. But I'm going to be honest. Not everyone is ready. This system isn't for everyone. This is only for someone who is ready and willing to be committed, who can follow a roadmap, and who is coachable. So if that someone is you, I invite you to jump on a strategy call with me or someone from my team. We'll lay everything out for you. All right? My name is Brendan Boyd, and I'll see you on the other side.
So what's next for you in terms of that? Like, Vonza sounds incredible. I might even talk to you about that myself because I got all these things going. So Vonza sounds incredible.
You gotta come to the 21st century, bro. You see stuff in the 1990s. That was the old way. That's all we knew. Mm-hmm. All we knew was taxi. You see is the BlackBerry because it becomes addictive of hitting those keys parts and stuff. And the iPhone is like, okay, iPhone will have your GPS, have your phone, have your contact, can we check your blood pressure sometimes, all of all this stuff. Like, but I'm used to Crackberry, So Vonza is modern. Vonza is the future. Let me share something else too. I don't think I've shared publicly. So one of the problems I also had too was, maybe race has to do with some of it, I don't know, raising funds. All of our competitors, from Kajabi to Katra, except ClickFunnels, but the boy is white, right? And he's been in this industry for a long time. So he was able to self-fund it. So many of them, they've raised a lot of money. They get banks and people give them money, but we have not been successful to raising money to grow Vonza. So I've been funding it from day one. So that's the pain too. So in 2022, when we officially come out of beta, because we are still in beta now, when we officially come out of beta around February of 2022, our goal is to launch a bank, right? So it's going to be a bank, a digital bank, an online bank. We might start with just lending because I couldn't get a loan to grow the business. So they love entrepreneurs, especially Black entrepreneurs, that even with just $1,000 business loan with the easy interest rate, it will help them a lot. So 100%. We want to offer lending. We want to offer, then we're going to go into like credit cards, debit cards, checking accounts, and all of that stuff. So our goal sometime in 2022 is to offer the fintech and banking arm of Vonza, because we want to really be that end-to-end solution for entrepreneurs and small businesses. You want to run your business, we give you the tools to run it. Hey, your business starts growing, or you want to start, you got good credit, you need funds to start or scale your business. We don't want we want to go through a rejection we went through. We want to also help you. You want to be your partner from starting and growing your business to millions or billions of dollars. So that is what we're trying to do with Vonza. Like it's never been done before. A true end-to-end solution for small businesses, coaches, consultants, solopreneurs, right? So that is what we're trying to do. So we're just, really excited about this.
No, that sounds crazy, man. Like having obviously the platform, right? Having an abundance of resources, one-stop shop, and then like you're saying, being able to now provide funding. The fintech arm of Vonza sounds incredible. Like, because you're right, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that's going to come in, and it may be a situation where they're struggling to get funding to launch a product, to launch a service, or whatever the case may be. And now you're able to provide that option for them within the platform, and that's incredible. I mean, I think starting a bank is so smart. I also think it's needed, and especially being being from our culture, I think it is definitely something that it shows a lot. Like it's a good what's the word I'm looking for? It's a good inspirational moment to see someone from our culture having that stance in the industry, in the marketplace, because now you're showing other people that yes, they can do it too. But like you said, this is the future. This is the way. You don't have to go the traditional route or whatever the case may be, and maybe face a denial for whatever reason. They may be telling you, but may not necessarily be the reason for say. But that's incredible. I really admire that. I think that's great. Also can see the iteration from like your companies, right? So from the university to now Vonza, and then the digital banking situation. I think
and also too, sometimes even though our tuition for our university is very affordable, sometimes people they don't have the money to pay right now. So we'll be able to also service them and say, hey, we have a partner company, Vonza, that will help you, give you the loan you need to pay for your school and stuff like that. So it's a needed solution. I want to make it easy. People that lose their car, lose their house, lose their home, just because they were just short at something low as $500, right? Their check was just short $500, and then they get hit with this heavy, late fees, or their car got repossessed, right? Well, if we can make it easy, and sometimes because they're Black, honestly, they just can't get loans from bank, right? So we can make it easy for them to get that short-term loan. We're solving a problem, not just solving a problem, but also saving a life, saving a single mother, saving children being on the street, So that's how I see the solutions that we are offering, especially for our culture.
So talk to me a little bit about your speaking and the philanthropy.
So I do a lot of speaking engagements, not a lot as I would like to, but, I do enough every year, probably 10 to 12 every year. I do probably 30 podcasts a year in addition to that as well. Then also do philanthropy. I came from Nigeria, so I tasted poverty and lack firsthand. I know what it takes to remember my grandma had so many children being raised. Brendan, I don't remember eating a full thigh of chicken or chicken leg, a full one, to myself until I became an adult. I don't ever remember that. I only really ate chicken and beef maybe Sundays and Wednesdays. So I know what it takes to about, you boil egg, and they will have to split into 4 to 6 places. And the part you get is the only protein, is the only meat you get for that food. So I want to give back. So I've told God, years ago, help me, bless me so I can give back. So we have several orphanages in Africa. We also help sponsor people in their education in Africa, feeding homeless, motherless people. So that's part of what we do. So every percentage of what we make every month, we fund it through our philanthropic work to help people, especially mostly in Africa. We do some here in America, but our primary focus right now is in Nigeria and Africa.
Got you. And then how are people able to contribute to some of your opportunities to give back? What does that look like?
Yes, thank you. I think the best way is going to be through the university, which is myhigherplace.com. And right there among the menu, I think there's a place to donate. Just easy for anybody to go there and make a donation. So my higher place, myhigherplace.com. Then among the menu, you're going to see a place to donate. You can just go there. I think we use PayPal for that particular transaction, and you can give whatever you want, and to be greatly appreciated too.
So, what I wanted to also dive into is being married as an entrepreneur. Because I think that there is a little bit of a stigma around, maybe I got to just be single, do my thing, focus, not pay attention to what's going on over here. Then I can have time for maybe someone else. What did you feel like was key with you being married and then, chasing your dreams with the person that you're in a relationship with?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Unlike some other people, I don't know how people talk about, oh man, I got so much entrepreneur dream. I don't want to get married because it's going to slow me down. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And being married helped me in entrepreneurship, actually maybe because I'm solving very big problems. So I needed somebody to bounce ideas with, somebody that got my back, help me take care of these other things so I can focus on these other things, right? Which you won't have if you're single and you're doing pretty much everything yourself. Because sometimes you can't trust girlfriends or boyfriends because they're not that invested into you. They're not married to you yet, right? You might love them, care about them, but you just can't trust them with your bank account, with your life, with the inner. You just can't. So you miss that though if you don't have that person that is loyal, committed, will sacrifice with you. So my wife has really helped me to be successful and to be where I am today. She's my co-founder with the university. She's my co-founder with Vonza. Pretty much everything I do, she's my co-founder. And she brings tremendous value to the table as well. I think entrepreneurship is easier being married than trying to do it alone.
I think that's a great message you put out there. It's easier being married than it is being alone. So,
yeah.
All right, man. So we touched on the university. We touched on Vonza. You gave us a little bit of context as far as your mindset, some of the books that you got into, how you were able to level up. We talked about speaking engagements in philanthropy, but also with the speaking, what are some of the topics that you're touching on? Are you touching on entrepreneurship specifically, your journey? What are some of the things that you're diving into when you have these speaking engagements? Are we talking about tech? Or is it an assortment of all of the above?
I think because I'm such a versatile speaker, I read a lot of things and I've done so many businesses over the years. I failed in 13 businesses before I made my first 100,000 a year. So I've done so many things. I can speak on a wide spectrum of conversations, from online business to creating online course, to mindset, to millionaire mindset, to confidence, to tech, to entrepreneurship. So I do speak I also speak in churches as well, going relationship with God. So I can speak on a wide range of topics. But my favorite is really helping people start and grow online businesses, helping them remove the hassle from doing it. Sometimes they're dealing with fear. Sometimes they're dealing with low self-esteem issue. Sometimes they don't know how to sell. So I love helping them overcome those mountains that's before them so that they can scale over and achieve greater success.
And that sounds incredible. I want to thank you for your time. I think you touched on so many amazing things. But before we let you go, because I feel like we could keep talking for a while, what are a couple things that you feel like the viewers and the listeners would be valuable for them to receive that you may not have already touched on? Maybe there's an entrepreneur that wants to begin this new journey right now. Maybe someone that's listening, that's watching, kind of like you said, they got that fear, they procrastinate. Maybe they need to sell more, whatever their pain point may be. But what's some advice you would give to someone listening or watching?
Yeah, so that's a very good one. So I would say my final words to somebody listening, especially if you're just kind of thinking about entrepreneurship, is today is the best day to start, not tomorrow. Start with the idea you have now. You can make it better later, right? Procrastination is nothing but an exposing of a self-esteem issue. Let me say it again. Procrastination is nothing but fear and a low self-esteem issue. That's just what it is. You think, oh, I just procrastinate. No, you just really have a low self-esteem issue, or you're dealing with fear. It's just what it is, right? So don't try to make it perfect today. Just start. It will always get better day by day, Another thing I would say too is to, give it your all. If you treat a business like a hobby, you're going to get hobby type of results, right? But if you really put more time or energy into it, it's going to grow. Now, if you have a full-time job, you might not be able to put 40 hours a week, but maybe it's not your 5 to 8 to 5 now. Maybe you're 6 to 12, right? That time you put in that deep work into what you do. But anything, this is what I've learned, brother. One of my biggest secret is this: one, not to ever quit, and two, to have a crazy work ethic. Because I figure out something. Everybody, please listen to this now. You show up every day to work on one thing every day. In 2 years, that thing will be enough to take care of you the rest of your life. Whatever it is, if you committed and you put effort every single day for into one thing for 2 years, that thing will become successful. Is the same principle that have helped me. You just gotta show up every day, gotta put some effort, put some resources, whatever it is, to make that thing better, to make it grow. In 2 years, it will be successful.
I agree with you 100%. I was gonna I 100% agree. So if it's time blocking to get at least an hour in.
Yeah.
If it's you know what, I'm gonna wake up 30, 60 minutes earlier, and I'm gonna take care of ABC before I get out the door.
Yeah.
If it's before I go to bed tonight, or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna put 30 minutes, 45 minutes towards my thing, or 2 hours towards my thing.
Yeah.
I think you're completely correct in that aspect. If you do something over and over and over, it becomes a habit. I think creating new habits, non-negotiable habits is something that we all need to do, because if you think about it, we all got habits, we all have patterns. Now, some of our patterns, some of our habits are not necessarily serving us to get to the next level. They're just things that we learned and adopted over time. There's things that you're not even thinking about that we just do. Could be shower, brushing your teeth, washing our face, eating. You're not even thinking about it, but you're doing that.
Yeah.
So if you treat some of the things that you need to learn, or some of the things that you need to do in your business, so like you said, if you commit to that thing every single day and that becomes a new habit or a new pattern, I agree with you. I feel like there's no way you can't not be successful, whether it's in that 2 years or even before.
Yeah.
Very,
very true. I agree.
So yeah, man, I want to really, really thank you for your time, from jumping on the podcast, sharing. You dropped a lot of gems. You dropped a lot of value. Where can they go to find you? Do you do coaching, mentorship? Should they just log on to your Instagram? How could they tap into you and learn a little bit more, work a little closer?
Yeah, thank you so much. So to follow me, really, everybody go on vonza.com, V for Victor, VONZA, vonza.com. On the About Us page, there's also information about me. But also, I'm also on Instagram, first name, UYI, space, last name. You can also find me there as well. Then my personal website is getonlinebusiness.com. getonlinebusiness.com. If you go to vonza.com or getonlinebusiness.com, you're going to find me right there. And Braden, we can't wait to have you go from the old school and come into the new with Vonza.
Yeah. We're going to have to talk about that, man. Because I'm telling you, I got the Zaps. I got the Integral Mat. I got the Calendly. I got the Kajabi. I got ClickFunnels. I got all the resources, all like you said, to help me with this book or with this course or with this program, just to get it out there to the marketplace, man. So again, very thankful, grateful, blessed to have you on the podcast. Definitely look forward to building with you in the future. And I'm so happy you're able to share so much with the community and everyone that's been able to watch it or listen to the podcast.
Thank you, Braden. It was a pleasure being with you today.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys on another episode.
If you're someone looking to level up in your personal life and also in your business, What if I told you there's only 2 things that you really need to focus on? Number 1 is your routines. If you knock down your routine each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your personal life. The other thing is your rituals. If you knock down your rituals each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your business life. And what if I told you you don't have to do this all by yourself? You can be part of an impactful group that's looking to level you up and support you along your journey. What's in the group? Let me give you the sauce. I'm talking about a daily tracker to make sure you stay on point. We read books that impact your life in real time. You get access to a group community where we're there to support one another. And there's 2 group coaching sessions each and every month. And guess what? It's only $1 for 7 days, so you can try it out. And then after that, it's $89 a month. All this value. So click the link below, get in a group. Let's level up your life. Let's level up your business. Let's go to the next level.